I know what you're thinking, because I'm thinking it too. You're asking yourself, how long will this last? And how long can this last? And what I'm referring to is the lockdown scenario we are currently experiencing in Britain, where we can't leave our homes, we can't send our kids to school, we can't operate our businesses. We have to sit and wait until our government gives us the all clear that we can come out. And back in January, when this national Tier 5 lockdown, the strictest we've ever seen in British history, was announced, they first told us 6 weeks. Yeah, it'll be mid-February. And then when they voted on it in Parliament, they stuck in the March 31st date. These measures could stay in place until March 31st. It just came out today that pubs won't open until bank holiday in May. That's the first week of May. And yet today on the Andrew Marr Show in the BBC, our Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, said by autumn, we think all the adults will be vaccinated. By autumn. You see what they're doing here? They're planting these ideas in your head and conditioning you to this fact that you might be locked down for longer and longer and longer periods of time. So when they finally make that decision, you won't react in a way where you freak out and say, wait a second, these are my human rights. These are my children. This is our future. This is our economy, which powers the NHS and everything else we do here as a nation. And so this is alarming to me, because it comes to that other question that I posed in the beginning of this video. And now that is, how long can this last? And on my live show on Friday, my Real Deal, where I spoke for 90 minutes, so many of you came and commented, I talked about the long-term costs of this lockdown and how the fact every single day they bandy about these numbers over here, these daily statistics, new cases, hospitalizations, COVID deaths. That's anyone dying that's tested positive for COVID in 28 days. And they're basing these long-term decisions based on a daily number. They're also forgetting to show you these other daily numbers over here. Deaths related to smoking, deaths related to heart disease, deaths related to Alzheimer's. That if we decided to focus on those numbers, sometimes 10 times bigger than the COVID deaths, well, we might optimize for another strategy of making smoking illegal, making McDonald's illegal, these types of things. But we're not focusing on those numbers. We're focusing on these numbers, and we're making long-term decisions for the UK. And as I mentioned on my show on Friday, a recent article in the Daily Mail had a professor in Bristol saying this lockdown is now costing, or going to cost, 560,000 lives. Yes, you heard me right. 560,000 lives is the lives cost because of the economic drop in this country. No one's talking about that. What about the fact that the national depression rate has doubled since February pre-COVID? And we're seeing all sorts of mental health issues, from eating disorders to self-harm to suicides, rise, especially in our young children. When are we going to talk about that? Not to mention the 27 million hospital appointments missed and all the other issues when it comes to straining our NHS for dealing with other diseases. So I ask you again, how long can this last? And I would argue it can't last until March, until May, until August, September, November of next year, or we literally will be killing ourselves. We will be dying because all of us will be stuck at home waiting to come out, which means this country can't function. It's time for a new strategy. You know it and I know it. This is about control versus elimination. Trying to eliminate this virus it's Disneyland thinking. It's a fantasy world. We need to find a way to live with this and look at this number of COVID deaths along with the other numbers of deaths that happen every single day and try to look at it in the bigger picture. There is a way of doing this. It's called focused protection. There's a way of protecting those elderly, and most of the deaths are from the elderly, while allowing the rest of us healthy individuals to get back to work and contribute. And we got to get our children back in school. I mean, this is causing unheard of mental issues and strain in the family unit. It's hard to even magnify. So those are my thoughts. Please leave me your thoughts below. I know there's a media war going on right now, and you are being told how dangerous and costly this disease is. But if you take a zoom out and look at the big numbers and the bigger picture, what's going on here? It's quite clear we are losing our civil rights and our human rights. And we've all seen the cases throughout the UK where police officers are arresting people for taking walks with each other. We're giving away our human liberties and our civil rights every single day, and we're losing our economy, our future, our children's futures, their educations alongside of it. Let's wake up here. Let's look at the facts. Let's look at the data. It's control versus elimination. Let's find a new strategy that has a long-term solution, not something that's based on a daily statistic that's flashed in front of your face to use fear as a weapon to get you to comply to these rules that are ultimately going to suffocate us and really kill this beautiful country, this beautiful economy, this beautiful culture that we have here in Britain. So leave me your comments below. Share this video with someone that you think is worth having this conversation with. Again, I think it's time for new leadership. Leaders provide solutions. They don't use fear as a weapon. We have to make a proportionate response to the virus, and we have to have science-based decision making. I've been speaking about this for months, and that's why I plan to lead London in a new direction. So thank you very much. Leave me your comments below. Let's stay strong. Let's stay positive. The future can be bright, but we've got to make those decisions right now.